Welcome to another second channel update ramble thingy. We have quite a few of these planned, and this one's going to be a smaller one, or maybe a smaller one. I am planning to do a video talking about the biggest winners and losers from all the different changes that we've gotten and going into more detail about them. But I wanted to take some time to ramble about something in a format that just really didn't fit the main channel properly. And it has to do with Healthbars. When Healthbars were revealed, I saw it as a small quality of life change more than anything else. Some people even argued it'd be a downgrade with the visual clutter and wanted to turn them off. And I went into this update expecting it to be the feature I really cared about the absolute least. I've walked away from it saying that while it might not be more impactful than the hitbox changes, it might actually be my favorite change from this update. I'm going to be showing you a little bit from spectator mode because you can actually see the health bars in spectator mode. But wow, I cannot express how much I really like these health bar changes. It is genuinely surprising how helpful they are. And what I'm showing you right now is that even from a spectator point of view, I think it really helps keep track of the flow of the fight. But it's most noticeable when so many specials and different things are flying that you can really keep much better track of the HP of certain players, or just how things are progressing. This is really nice from a viewer perspective, I think. And I personally just feel it adds to the experience a good bit. When it comes to the player experience, though, I think it's honestly even better. From a player point of view, I originally thought that the health bars would just be something where the information would be too fast for people to process at a higher level of play, or that callouts would simply be better. What I underestimated is you really take note of these kind of things much faster visually than you do from audio, and it's also just, consistent information. It doesn't have any human error in the way. The health bars are going to be pretty accurate throughout the entire thing, which is really useful. And I just have to say, it just feels really good. There's an example in this game I had from the private battle I did that you'll see in the background for a bit, but I'm not going to try to sync up or anything. This is a ramble. Where I took a fight with someone on the stack of Barnacle, and after I hit them with a dynamo flick, I could tell I was in effective range to do 50 or more damage, and didn't need to get closer with my spacing, putting me in more risk. If this was before the patch, I would be thinking that I could be doing as low as 40, and probably needed to close the gap a bit on the second flick. It's small little bits of information like that that really help. I think chargers are another class that benefit a lot, specifically the one-shot ones. There are times where chargers will go for a partial charge, and in particular, it's something I think Basil is pretty good at doing with Moonlight from what I watch. But now it's a lot easier for pretty much anyone to know when they can go for partial charges, because you'll see the health bar be like, half HP or slightly less or more, and you'll know that you won't need to full charge the weapon and just be able to do it intuitively. And that's really the thing that I think health bars do. They communicate information that was normally visually hard to notice. You would have to rely on callouts or inconsistent indicators like how much ink the other person was covered in. And now it becomes a very clear indicator that you can be aware of. I was very surprised just how fast my brain switched from processing the information of the health bars, to the point where I started making mistakes because of it. I would see someone with half HP at a point in the map, and I would automatically gravitate toward trying to look to kill them, even if someone was closer to me and running me down, which is something I should have been looking at instead as a dynamo roller, right? But still, it's really cool. Here's the fight, you can see. I noticed the half HP, and I'm like, okay, I can stay at relatively the same range when taking this fight. That's just so cool! I feel like it's really impacted the ability to make decisions like this, and I love that. And I haven't even begun to mention the fact that you can see your teammates' health bars. It gives so much more information as to why a fight went wrong or what you should be doing in a certain situation. It becomes more clear if someone is taking fire for you. It becomes more evident if your teammate might not be able to engage as fast as you might think because they're actually kind of low. In fact, this has gotten me thinking even more that they should really show you if people are close to specials on the top indicator like they do in spectator mode. Just have it gradually fill or something, because that would help so much for making decisions. But right here we get to see this in health bar form. It is so much easier to tell what your teammates might be doing and get a better read for their actions if you're paying attention to the health bars. Just that small piece of information on knowing if they're full HP or slightly damaged can tell you a lot. If they're in a fight, if they're waiting to heal, or where their thinking might be at. And I think it's exactly this kind of change that's so important for a game like this. Splatoon is a game full of visual clutter and fast-paced action that still expects a level of coordination. While Splatoon 3 has made it easier for individuals to do their own thing, part of the satisfying part of team-based shooters is still going to be team play. And making it so that there are ways people can communicate better with each other without things like voice chat or being a competitive player are important, especially at a more casual level. You don't want experiences where your teammates are just absolutely trolling your games. And that's very common here. Splatoon has had a lot of problems when it comes to that, like the limited D-pad options on the bottom left of the screen right now that still haven't been changed. But these health bars really do feel like a step in the right direction in that area. So I really just want to put it out there that, like, if you are playing the game, or, sorry, not playing the game, if you're watching these updates and you're unsure if you want to get into it and you're unsure about these health bars thing, I would highly recommend experiencing the game. It takes a little bit to get used to, but, like, yeah, right there's another example, right? I see the health bar low, I know where I should go for this vertical flick kill, right? It just, it adds so much. It is unbelievable how good it is. Ignore me here. This was embarrassing. Right? And I'm just very happy with it. I didn't expect this kind of change, and maybe other people do. But yeah, that's there. Let's do a footnote for this video like I did with the Dynamo video, especially because this one's a bit shorter. This map is a great example to talk about the stealth jump change and how I'm a big fan of it. There's been a lot of concern about snowballing and competitive play being emphasized here, and I think this change was made as a direct way to address that. It mostly affects people not when they're doing things like jumping to teammates like you would see in competitive play, but instead it seems to mostly be something that affects you if you're, like, spawn camping the enemy base. Once you have a far distance, it makes the ability to jump in and get over to the enemy side of the base a lot slower. It makes regrouping a lot more difficult there, and that means if the opponents are able to find kills on people all the way deep into the base, they're going to have a lot more time to react to and subsequently camp the jumps coming back in. And even if you don't camp the landings, it starts to take, like, what feels like an extra second or two to land into the enemy base. It's quite substantially larger in a way that I think is fair. This is a good change to address snowballing and teams going really far in that I really appreciate, and I think has been something that's been kind of needed. So it makes me just like this stealth jump change all the more, and even when you have something like Tactical or QSJ, the effect is still noticeable. It is a very healthy way to adjust it, and it's just one of the few examples that I want to point to show that Nintendo really is making sure things aren't just too snowball aggressive heavy. Being able to proc Aura after killing another enemy player with Aura being another example. So yeah, it's made me like the stealth jump change a little bit more as well. But yeah, that's everything I have. This update is shaping up to be even better than I originally thought, and I'm just very happy to see these kind of global system changes that just make the gameplay feel like a more smooth and enjoyable experience at all levels of play. This has been far more than I ever anticipated, and I'm very happy with it. Alright, bye guys.